Alright guys, so here's how to build your PC by future-proofing so that it costs less to upgrade in the future. So first of all, you need to decide which is reusable and which is not reusable. So for not reusable, the motherboard, I would generally recommend B series as it is the mid-range board. Secondly, the CPU, I would choose i5 because in the future you can upgrade to a better processor with a cheaper price, or just change the generation itself to a newer CPU that supports your newer motherboard. And number 3, your RAM. So RAM, choose 16 GB as a minimum. If you need more, you can upgrade in the future. And this might be reusable also depending on the motherboard. So now most of the parts are all decided by your motherboard, so make sure check your motherboard. Now for reusable, it is casing, power supply, GPU and storage. So the casing, I would always recommend that can fit any ATX and below size, that can fit most GPU size, that can fit most CPU cooler fan size, and the quantity of fans is generally a lot to cool your entire casing. Now this casing can last you forever if you want. Just get the best and leave it. For power supply, 750 watt is the minimum. If you want to be future proofing, go for 850 and above, so you can last you until the power supply dies. Also make sure you get gold to get a better energy efficient, a better safety, and branded so that it is not fake. For GPU, get the newest GPU card with 70 series and above, because below that you're basically not able to play AAA games, or you can play it at low quality. For storage, get 1 Tera SSD. Right, so first we gotta go into the main board, means the motherboard. The motherboard is the one that decides what part to use. So you either choose the AMD or Intel. I would go with Intel because their naming scheme is much easier than AMD, which you need to have the storekeeper if you want AMD because it's much harder. So Intel, let's check it out. So first of all, how to buy Intel motherboard. Let's identify what is this. So socket 1700, this is what generation it can use. What I mean is this 12, 13, 14 is the Intel number here. This will show you whether it's this 14 gen or 13, 12. So 14, 13 and 12. That's all. So easy. So if let's say you do not have this, then you gotta check out in the website. Is this socket 1700? If it is, it's correct. Another one is this DDR4. This is the RAM. So remember to check out the desktop, not notebook. They're totally different. DDR4 is the D4. Okay. DDR5 below here is D5. Okay. So that's how you do it. To future proof, we'll go with the latest DDR5. Higher the number, the better. Okay. So over here we will choose this. Why? Number one, we'll need to have our budget on how much motherboard we should get. I would say not too expensive and not too cheap, so it's in the middle class. The middle class here is 500. You can get it 500 or below, or you can see this alphabet here is Z. Anything below Z, it's not clockable, not overclockable. Z means it can go above your rated speed. Below that, B and H, they are not overclockable. Okay, depends on your brand which one you want. So I will choose ASRock. 14 is the newest, and the lower generation is maybe 1 or 2 years old. So I will still choose 12 because it's stable, whether is it unstable or not. Alright, so make sure you check online whether is it good. So which one would I choose? Well, again, CPU, you don't need to be so high, it just needs to be a mid-range. So I'll put it this. Why? Because this is the mid-range, 500. F means it's without graphic card. This means it's with graphic card. These two, the difference is only with or without graphic card. The speed is the same. K means overclockable. That's it. So they are followed by alphabet. Alright, that's why I choose this. How to choose the memory now? Memory, you should check in the i5 specs. 128 gig up to 4800 DDR5. 4800 DDR5 here. Okay, here's desktop memory. It's cheap, it's fine, just get this. Okay, performance memory, basically D5 performance is 5000. If you want to get higher one, you need a better CPU, and you need to know whether the motherboard supports. So you can also the motherboard here. So just go for the specs and you can see easily 12, 13, 14, it works. The RAM is 2 slot DDR5 up to 7002, non-ECC 128 gig. Okay, so we need to check on the CPU whether it can use this. You just need to double confirm in the shop. If you don't know, you can just double confirm. It's good to have advice and not just buy blindly. 8 gig. So if you want to buy 2, 16 gig is the minimum. Okay, it's quite simple. Let's skip the GPU because the GPU will be using your remaining cache or upgrade in the future. So this CPU has graphic card, it doesn't need a GPU. You can buy this later on. Okay, that's why I buy that. Partly also is for troubleshooting. Okay, let's go for the SSD. There are two types of SSD size, M.2 and SATA. SATA is much easier. It can be compatible with any machine, no problem. But M.2, it only compatible with certain motherboards which have this. So also it has like Gen 4, NV3 and whatnot. So it's a bit more harder. I would usually buy this because it's able to be future proof. Okay, it may be a bit more expensive than this here, but you know, it's future proofing. So some of you may say this is too low level, 560 to 530. Here are 7300, 6600. What is this? Read and write. So this is of course better than this, but we are future proofing, and this is not really worth looking at this. If you're just playing games and doing some normal work, this is good enough. But if you want, you can just buy this. This is just for example purposes. But if you're doing for M.2, if let's say you were to get this here, okay, you'll see here NV3 Gen 4 500. What's this? So you'll have to check your motherboard the storage here, and here are the ones 2280 PCIe Gen 4. So you'll have to find Gen 4, 2280, and NV3. These are all the things you have to consider. Okay. Then we'll go to power supply. Power supply here, I choose Cooler Master because here it shows you gold. You can see gold, bronze. It means bronze is lower range than gold on energy efficiency, safety, and all those. So if you want, go for gold. 750 watt and above are the most recommended for future proofing, because then you don't have to change every time. So let's just put this as this. If you want to know more, you should check out what is gold, what is bronze. Over here, computer case. I would recommend you to choose a casing where it fits all sizes on air cooling, fan, GPU size, and it's good for air ventilation. So you could choose any one of this as your preference, but I would choose this. Now to check out whether this is good or not, I'll show you one like this. So first of all, you see there is a mesh in front and a lot of air can go in. Then they'll have in free fan. I have 3 pre-installed fan, which is good. I don't need to use money. Some have only 1 or 2 depending. Then here has easy access to your dust filters, and it's good to clean your PC, make it easier. It has 3 slot USB and easier to open, easier to manage. High-end component supported, meaning that the length of the GPU of this air cooler PSU power supply, it's big enough. Okay, it's best you check a comparison with another one like this 380 to this graphic card 340, 175, and 170 mm. So you don't need to have a fitting issue if you follow this method, and get enough fan right here. They'll show you how many fans supported: 3 front, 1 behind, to the top, 2 inside. So you'll have 8 fans. This you'll have here, you'll have 9 fans, 120 millimeter or 140 millimeter. So they'll show you already here and here. Cool, right? That's great. So deep cool CH510, you can go for this. It's only 39 ringgit. You can do 2 lists to compare and see if you get discount. And once you've done this, now let's go into graphic card. Now graphic card, how do I choose? I would always see here the front 2 digit, again is the same as like CPU, where the front 2 digit is the new generation to show you. So 40 is newer than 30. The same as here, 14 is newer than 12, but make sure this 40 is better than 30. As again, CPU and any other parts, the newer they are, there may be more better or a bit more worse. So depend on stability wise. 40s are better and energy efficient, or how you can check on the YouTube, but we are going to focus on the other 2 also. The other 2 is basically how powerful it is. So I would generally recommend 70 series and above. 60 series and below is basically you are at the age of playing AAA game. You may or may not able to play AAA games, but 70 you can play AAA games. You may not be able to play the highest resolution. That's what 70 is. So when you buy this, you can go for older generation over here, like for example 3080 and 4070. 80 is higher than 70, but the RAM here, this is RAM, is lower than this. Which is better? Well, you can check online which is better, 3080 versus this, and you can see how much power it draws and how fast is it. So far the new one I checked, 4070 is faster or maybe the same, and it uses less energy, so it's better for your power supply also. That's why I choose this. And there's no other 70 series here that is around the same price. So that is how you do price to performance. And let's calculate. 8 gig is basically struggling, so let's put one more, 139. Then you get 5408. Now let's minus off this GPU. So you have 2509. Why I minus off this GPU is because this GPU you can get it after all your PC is built. You don't need this because your CPU has graphic card and you can use it for a while before you save money and upgrade adding this card. Alright guys, are you surprised on the FPS counter with the performance and quality it's running without lags and artifacts? It is running on Ultra with very nice graphics. I don't think you can see it because my camera is not so good. Please like, subscribe and comment. Below is my previous videos, to the center is my other videos, and to the side of it is my playlist for different topics in different playlists. You can check that out for my previous and future videos that is to come. So thank you for watching. Famous Cyber Gamer signing out.